Hello. So today I want to talk about the Modi documentary, The Question of Modi. It's a BBC documentary. I've only seen the first part. Apparently, there are two parts to it. And the purpose of this documentary by the BBC is to basically cause the Muslims in minority in India, it is to cause a Muslim minority in India to feel insecure. And this is a typical tactic of the colonialist to try to whip up feeling of vulnerability among minorities. It was done to Hindus, to Sikhs, where there were Muslim majority. But there is a very interesting aspect to this documentary, which showcased a man of straw, a man who, in 2017, a Iraqi. He was a military officer, a general. It came to Britain and he tried to prosecute Tony Blair, Jack Straw, Lord Goldsmith, who was the Attorney General. He tried to prosecute them for a crime under international law, which is called the crime of aggression. It's what Hitler and the Kaiser were guilty of. To attack without any good reason a country. Yes, even if you win, even if Putin wins in Ukraine, it's still aggression, even if he wins. And this was the crime committed by the Labour Party. And this is very shocking to me because people like me, we are traditional Labour Party people. We are, it was Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee, he made sure that Britain and India and Pakistan parted on the best of terms. But the seeds of hatred had already been sown. Now, I am going to talk about something I don't know. I don't come from Gujarat. I'm a Madrasi, but I have greatest respect for Gujaratis. And in the city of Leicester, it was a shining example. It was, and I myself, I spent 4 years in Kenya, in Nairobi, beautiful city of Nairobi. I'm very close. I'm very close to all Gujarati community. I used to go swimming in Aga Khan, high school swimming pool. My best friends, they were two of them were Hindu, two of them were Muslim. Different communities, Ismaili community, but I also know Bora community. I know the people who are Sunni, Ashraf, as well as Ganchi, as well as I know them all. I know these people, and I know the full. I know Leicester. I know Leicester very well. And you see, the Labour Party, it is Labour Party, not Tory Party. I wish I could say it was Tory Party, but it is Labour Party which, Jack Straw, people like him, they whipped up internal division among Asian people. They did the identity politics, which is why people like Amartya Sen, Meghna Desai, they saw it, didn't like it, but they could not articulate. But, if you see Faizan Mughal, hey, Faizan Mughal, that's Muslim name. He knew exactly what these bastards are doing. It's divide and rule. And in fact, he protested against the Zionist and Jeremy Corbyn. But Corbyn was an innocent man. Tony Blair, Jack Straw, these bastards, they are the original. What did Tony Blair do? What did Jack Straw do? The answer is that they manufactured false affidavits. So it's 1.3 million Muslims, innocent Muslims, mothers, children, grandparents, they were slaughtered, they were killed, and not even in an honest manner. but by drone and by other vicious. And drones, a lot of money in drones, a lot of money in these vicious means of killing. And we know that Tony Blair became very, very rich. I don't know what happened to Jack Straw, but basically Jack Straw appears on this program and he says, "Oh, we in the we British, we sent a secret mission." In other words, he says, as Narendra Modi points out, that these bastards who were killing Muslims, creating a genocide against Muslims of 1.3 million, they were thinking, hey, we want to show that it's not just us who kill Muslims. Hindus are also killing Muslims. But Hindus don't kill Muslims. Hindus didn't want this Gulf War 1, didn't want Gulf War 2. Both of them, India stayed out. Pakistan had no choice. Pakistan had to collaborate in killing Muslims, and Musharraf has explained why. Nuclear gun pointed to your head. This is what he says. He says that in 2001, a nuclear gun was pointed at the head of Pakistan. We will bomb you we will nuke you to stone age. So after that, Musharraf had to find some, way, not to fight the Taliban. And he said, no, Indian threat. So, there was attack on Indian parliament and then Godhra atrocity. So we know about these things. And look, whether you're Hindu, Muslim, or Sikh or whatever, the fact is, I'm not saying I look like Shah Rukh Khan. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Muslims do have some relative who looks like me, and I have some relatives who look like and more handsome than Salman Khan, by the way. So we are related. I'm a Tamil. By the way, in Tamil Nadu, there's never been zero. There was never any Muslim. Don't be stupid. We all speak Tamil. There was no question. Don't be stupid on this. In Sri Lanka, it became, and that's an interesting matter. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that in 9/11, America was attacked. America waged a war of revenge, very foolish war of revenge, which killed 1.3 million. And Labour Party, Blair, Jack Straw, and these other men of straw, they went the extra mile to kill Muslims. And I keep mentioning Straw because in his constituency there are plenty of Muslims. But you can see his ambivalence towards those Muslims. And what is it based on? It's based on color. You see, the thing is that, I'm quite dark, I'm Darasi. But as far as white man is concerned, Jack Straw is concerned, Mirpuri, who's from Kashmir, the fair skinned, and me, we are the same. It's basically dark skinned people with their penises. They're doing very bad things with their penises. So that's what Jack Straw said for the white, elderly white. But then, he would say, oh, yeah, the fact is Britain and America were killing Muslims. So they say, no, Modi was killing Muslims. Modi never killed any bloody Muslims. Why would he do so? He was the chief minister. Home minister. Maybe Home Minister says to the police, you go sit back and do nothing so that there'll be a riot. That's possible. Except, no, in India, 90% in Gujarat is Hindu. And after the Godhra atrocity, they wanted to kill and take revenge. Because of lack of spiritual knowledge, because of lack of good moral guidance, because, karma in Hinduism. If you take revenge, you destroy your own future, you will become that. In Islam, there is jihad does not mean revenge. But you see, let's be very frank. After 2001, there was war of revenge. against Muslims. 1.3 million. And, yeah, they would try to say, yeah, but look, this Modi is also doing, but Modi never did. Modi didn't kill anybody. You can say, well, what about, Zafia? He was the home minister. What about Hiran Pandya? And I'd heard, yeah, but you see, these guys are politicians, they're in bed with this bunch of gangsters and that bunch of gangsters. It's like, the film, Shah Rukh Khan film, Rais, But if you actually look up what did Abdul Latif, the Godfather, what did he, the mafia guy, what did he actually do? But, he's equal opportunity killer. Yeah, he killed some Hindus, but he also killed, like, Rauf Waliullah, former Rajya Sabha member. Oh, yes, but Congress Minister of Fisheries was Muslim. He got Latif to do the Surat bombing and riots there. And he does, so many other, it was just a nonsense. And maybe Shah Rukh Khan, by the way, Shah Rukh Khan went to the same school as I did. He's only 2 years younger than me. I'm not kidding. Yeah, but he's good looking because he's not a fat fuck, you know. But I'm not kidding. Okay, maybe he's 3 years. I'm turning 60 this year. But, yeah. Anyway, but Shah Rukh Khan, he's trying to make light of it and saying, get over it, guys. Like Abdul Latif, what was his name? Rais, actually very vicious killer. But the thing is that vicious killers get elected. It was the fact that in, I think, 85, Abdul Latif was in prison and he won 5 wards. But it was a terrible thing, really, for Muslims in Gujarat, because if you look at Ahmed Patel, one of those very good people, they're close to Sonia, he lost in 89. After that, there has not been one single Muslim MP from Gujarat since 89. And before that, Ehsan Jafri, again, decent person, slaughtered. Why? Because, if the Congress Minister of Fisheries is doing bloody terrorism, these things come out. And then every Congress MP is seen as a bloody gangster. So they came to slaughter him. Ehsan Jafri. And by the way, I come from, my grandfather was a trade union movement and like that, and we know who is good and who is decent. I'm not saying Ehsan Jafri is very, but, good by the standard. And in that BBC documentary, it is shown that, he is calling Narendra Modi, which is mad. Ehsan Jafri was a smart guy. He was from Gujarat. You don't call the chief minister, you call the home minister. What will chief minister do? Nothing. Because chief minister, is having to, he's liaising with the center, with New Delhi. He's saying, yeah. They're saying, okay, should we send troops? How many troops? He's doing liaison. And Modi had only been in power for 4-5 months at the time. It was, Hiren Pandya was always saying, no, Hiren Pandya had been a home minister under Keshbai. So he had, that's a very good reason to get rid of the guy, because there's huge corruption. Everybody knew it. Gordon Zadafia, he's a protege of Parveen Pagadia. And, back in those days, they had some credibility. And I used to ask people that, did these guys do anything? They didn't do shit. Because, the fact is that the killing has to be done by killers. And Congress was the party of killers. That's, it was always the case that if you kill people, you join Congress Seva Dal. If you like marching around, in your kid, you like marching around, but your mummy will beat you if you start killing. Daddy will beat you. हाँ, थोड़ा काकी निक्कर में तो you can do some exercises. And yeah, you can go for Morvi, flood relief and all that. That's fine. But killing, you see, killing changes a man. In Hinduism, in Jainism, in Islam, you see, murder, it causes an ashrav of very negative particles. You can call it sin or you can call it karma binding particles, but basically, don't kill. Unless that's what you do for a living. In which case, it's advertising that you say, no, I'm doing some killing for the community. This is community care based knifing and raping. Yeah, yeah, fuck that. So, you have this BBC documentary which, says, oh, there are unanswered questions about Modi. No, there are no unanswered questions. One unanswered question is, why, basically Modi ditched Pandya and Zadake and so on. Of course he did, because, you know, riots are bad for any place. There was big riots under David Cameron, Hoodie riots. He didn't want it, so it's stupid. It's if you're the chief minister, you don't want that. Now, let me just let us hear about this BBC documentary being rigorously researched. Oh, right. Okay. I have to press another button. Sorry, there's
that a wide range of
that a Modi proactively stopped cops.
And we featured a range of opinions.
This is what is being said.
BJP.
See, Modi, Home Minister, can proactively stop cops. But why the hell would the Chief Minister do that? It has to be the Home Minister. And the Home Minister is the guy who, that's his responsibility. That's his job. You don't call the Chief Minister, you call the Home Minister where there is a problem. Because if you call the chief guy, if you call the finance minister, he'll say, no, this is not finance matter. It is, you call the chief minister, he'll say, yeah, home matter. It's police. What is wrong with you? Now, the Modi's role was that you say the North Bloc, that means in Delhi, that means the Indian Home Ministry and Defense Ministry, they thought that the Godra atrocity, horrible atrocity, I'm condemning it unequivocally. But I am saying that, look, there was money on the table. There was a nexus between Godra Ganchis and Karachi. We know that. There was a nexus with Dawood and all that. Fair enough. ISI, yes. If you get paid, and it was Congress people who did it, and independent cooperators, they were politicians, they did it. It was well organized. But it was like the recent Delhi riot when Trump was in Mumbai. It was organized, it was paid for. It was disastrous for local Muslims. Disastrous, but some people got paid. There's a reason for it. And, I'm an economist, I understand money. The other thing is that in Islam, it's too beautiful. It's worldwide. It is international. And, you say, well, look, I fucked up my own people. Like, actually, the Rohingya situation, to some extent, I'm not saying Burmese are fantastic. They're horrible. They sucked out all the Indians anyway, because they don't like us. They don't like our color. They don't like our language. But fair enough. But Rohingya thing was triggered. But the guys who did the triggering and who are responsible, they got paid. But look at it another way. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden, as vice president, he basically laid the all put it all down. He was the guy in charge who made sure that Ukraine now would be suffering hugely. And I mean, from America's point of view, they could say, well, it's a good investment, you know, that we're bringing down Russia, you know. But prices paid by Ukrainians. And the thing is that all of us, we found out that Ukrainians are beautiful, wonderful people. It's not fair. I can't say that Biden is a beautiful and wonderful person. I can only say that he and Hunter, his son Hunter Biden, aren't that different. One guy liked porn and money and the other guy didn't give a shit being part of killing Muslims. But now in Ukraine, are they Muslims? Are they dark skinned? No, they're white. And in the case of India, uh, just recently there was a survey which showed that yes, who do you think is the biggest threat to India? Pakistan? Muslims? Fuck off. China? Yeah. China isn't really a threat because India has more people, or will have more. Well, it already has more young people. It's an infantry battle up in Tibet, which is India will win. Well, India won't. Tibetans will win. Nepalese will win. Bhutanese will win because of demographics. It's demographics. But the second most threatening country is United States of America. But I think with this BBC, because the US is shit. If they make friends with you, they'll fuck you. If you're their enemy, you'll win. It's like America was the enemy of Iran, which is why Iran won the war on terror. But turning to Britain, it's very sad that you have this documentary, which is designed for only one purpose. It's to create riots in Leicester. Because instead of, BBC having to go to faraway places, and there are no Hindu-Muslim riots in India, if there are, it'll turn out this guy was paid so much, like in the Delhi riots, this guy was paid to create a riot because Donald Trump was there. So don't go to India. You can show some brown people killing each other, or at least burning temples and burning, in Leicester. So cheaper. It saves on your license fees. If the BBC promotes violence between Hindus and Muslims, it can't do it in India because Modi is running India, but it can do it here in Leicester. So I think this is part of the Little England strategy. And it's good, because Hindu vote will consolidate around Rishi, first Hindu prime minister. While, and let's face it, it was Labour which started the genocide, which contributed so much to genocidal war against Muslims. 1.3 million. This is according to American academic sources. And countries like Iraq, Libya, Syria. And, it's a very anti-Sunni. The Sunni is the majority of... anyway, I'm a Hindu. I believe in, please don't kill Hindus because I'm a Hindu. And, once you start, you'll get run to me. I'm not trying to be virtue signaling or anything like that. But I'm also saying that India did not support Gulf War 1, did not support Gulf War 2. India does not at all permit and support killing of Muslims. Why? Because the same bastards who are Islamophobic and who say, "Oh, because of they have got WMD or they are violating human rights," and they go and fucking drone strike and blow up and kill. They want to do the same thing to Hindus. That's why they will target Modi, who never killed any Muslims. They say, no, but he may have done, or oh, he should have done more not to, you know. And then finally you have the CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Act, which basically says it confirms what happened in 1948, which says that if you are fleeing Islamic persecution, we'll give you citizenship in India. That's what happened in 1948. But the 1948 Act was a little bit more cruel, and that Nehru was basically saying that if you ran away and you want to come back, you can't, because we need your property to compensate the Hindus and Sikhs and Jews and Christians who ran away. But Nehru was not anti-Muslim, nor was Jinnah anti-Hindu. Jinnah had a Hindu law minister, J.N. Mandal. Nehru had Ambedkar. Ambedkar and Mandal were pals. But Mandal had to run away from Pakistan because, his people were being killed and ethnically cleansed. So, there are asymmetries, but there is absolutely no reason why people who look similar, who speak the similar languages. I mean, look at, I come from Tamil Nadu. Has there ever been any Hindu Muslim thing in Tamil Nadu? I've never heard it. In fact, there was anti-Brahmin feeling. And Kamal Hassan, the very great actor, he gained by people thinking that he's Muslim rather than Brahmin. So don't be silly and stupid. But BBC is silly and stupid and stuck in the past. They recycle the same shit decade after decade. And the problem is, I think it's a Paxman effect. Jeremy Paxman. Paxman, had a long nose, and he would sort of talk to you as though he was a prosecutor. Oh, I've just trapped you into damaging ambition. But actually, Paxman was just making it up. Yeah, he didn't give a shit. And then, you have that confrontational style. But you see, a journalist isn't supposed to be, isn't a prosecutor. A prosecutor has to build his case very carefully, he has to have facts. These guys didn't have any facts. It was all supposition. They'd say, yes, but isn't it true that you didn't actually suck yourself off on TV, but you should have done more to deny that it's a good thing to suck yourself off on TV? It's true that Paxman was not constantly sucking himself off on TV, albeit after the watershed, but he said not the case. That he should have done much more to show that he was not sucking himself off. It's this kind of nonsense, and people with posh accents and virtual signalers. But what is the point? The point is that these pieces of propaganda by the BBC, by the state, it's an organ of the state. It reflects on the state of Britain, which shit. It's a reflection on us that this crazy worthless shit is being recycled. But then, what else is happening? Which, why am I buttoned up like this? It's because I can't fucking afford to turn up the heating. This is us. It's back to this 3-day week, and 1873 or so, whatever. I'm not that fucking old. Anyway, thank you so much for bearing with me and listening so far, if you have.